Skinny Hardaway Southern T. Back with another EP. Y'all do your boy just do. What's good, pimp? Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy and you roll on in. I'm about to wake y'all up with this one. We gonna be here for a nice amount of time. We gonna be here for a nice amount of time. I want to make sure that I get my thoughts across thoroughly. When I speak on this, I want to make sure I eloquate. In a way that everybody can understand, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Now first things first, because I know how weird people get. I know how weird people get. Well, they don't need to do nothing. They rich and they millionaires and all that shit. Yeah, I know that. And I probably got more money than you, but that ain't what we're here talking about right now, right? We talking about them. I'm talking about they, for legacy. You know what I mean? If, these guys are boxers, these guys are prize fighters, these guys want to be remembered, as some of the best in their sports, right? So, What's good, Judah? These guys want to be remembered as some of the best in their sports, right? And if you want to be remembered as one of the best at what you do, there are certain things you need to do. So no, they don't need me to get them no money. They don't need my approval. They don't need me or you for any fucking thing. They don't need each other, you know what I mean, to make it through life. But they do need each other to be to be great in this great sport of boxing that both of these guys compete in. Well, Southern T, they already great. They don't need each other. They could be. There's no such thing as being too great. That's why some of y'all ain't never done nothing major in y'all life. You know what I mean? Because you be putting a cap on your greatness. If you put a cap on it, it's not called greatness. It's called just good enough. But I digress. 4 years ago, right? Two best heavyweights in the world, right? Easily 4 years ago. The two best heavyweights in the world was who, y'all? Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, right? Right? Tell me I'm wrong. 4 years ago, Deontay Wilder was walking around this thing, knocking everybody smooth the fuck out, right? Anthony Joshua was walking around this thing, knocking everybody smooth the fuck out. You know what I mean? 6'6", 240-pound monster. You got a 6'7", 225-pound beast. You know what I mean? We got guys who walking around. We got guys who walking around this thing looking indestructible. And when I say indestructible, man, I really mean indestructible. Go watch a couple of those Wilder highlight videos and tell me that I'm lying. You know what I mean? Go watch a couple of those old Anthony Joshua knockout videos, right? And tell me that I'm lying, right? That was 4 years ago. I used to wake up every goddamn day like, man, Anthony Joshua need to fight Wilder, man. My Wilder need to fight Anthony Joshua. My Anthony Joshua, my Wilder Anthony Joshua. Man, you see Anthony Joshua knock out. You see Anthony Joshua knock down Klitschko. Man, you see Anthony Joshua beat up Joe Parker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Wilder is out here cleaning everybody clock type shit. At this point, Tyson Fury had been retired for about a year and a half, right? A year and a half, 2 years. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. At this point, Tyson Fury had been retired, right? About a year and a half or 2 years at this point. So we're not thinking about, no goddamn Tyson Fury. And I want y'all to stay with me right now. At this point, Tyson Fury had been retired about a year and a half, right? So we ain't thinking about no goddamn Tyson Fury at this point. Alexander Usyk. Let's talk about it. This Alexander Usyk character. Now we forget, right? Now it's everybody loves Usyk. Usyk is number one, and Usyk is this. But I remember when nobody knew who Usyk was. I remember when nobody gave a fuck about Usyk. People tell you, well, Usyk won that Super 6. People actually be trying to tell me Usyk information now as if I didn't know. Nigga, when nobody talking about no fucking Alexander Usyk at cruiserweight going through that Super 6 tournament, beating up Tony Bellew and all that shit. Y'all wasn't talking about that dude. What y'all was saying was this. Matter of fact, y'all wasn't even saying nothing about Alexander Usyk at that time. Nobody spoke about him until he got to heavyweight. But let me get into it real quick. What y'all was saying back then was, Anthony Joshua Wilder. Tyson Fury was on the couch, cracked out somewhere. Alexander Usyk was at cruiserweight, and y'all wasn't giving a fuck about him. And when y'all did start noticing Alexander Usyk, y'all was saying, well, ain't nobody at cruiserweight. He ain't beat nobody at cruiserweight. Don't nobody care about cruiserweight. I could have won the Super 6 at cruiserweight, but now what y'all are telling me is, oh, he won the Super 6. Bitch, I know that. You didn't know that. Stop acting like you know who that man is. I know who he was before you was. You niggas don't watch boxing. You niggas dig ride, and you bandwagon what's ever hot right now. But I digress, right? So 4 years ago, Usyk wasn't even a thought. Usyk wasn't even a thought to most people. I knew who Usyk was. Usyk wasn't even a thought to most people. I remember y'all said Usyk was going to lose to Chad Witherspoon and Derek Chisora. I couldn't tell you how much money I won. Our people, and from Vegas, well, not from Vegas, because Vegas knew what was up. I can't tell you how much money I won. Our fucking people betting on Derek Chisora to beat Alexander Usyk back in the day. Couldn't even tell you how much money I won. But y'all had him losing to Derek Chisora. After you saw him fight that Chaz Witherspoon dude, you said Alexander Usyk couldn't even knock out a dude in Chaz Witherspoon who was getting up off the couch. He was getting up off the couch. Usyk couldn't knock him out. So I know he not gonna beat Derek Chisora. Did you see Derek Chisora? Derek Chisora been fighting all the best people. This little cruiserweight ain't gonna knock him. So, you know what I mean? So I remember what the thing was about Usyk. So I know nobody thought Alexander Usyk would be the one to be AJ. And let's get even deeper. Tyson Fury was retired, right? Tyson Fury was retired even when Tyson Fury was having his run. Even when Tyson Fury was having his run, right? We wasn't saying Tyson Fury, we didn't really respect or know who Tyson Fury was, even at the peak of his run, right? So he was retired. We knew more about Fury, after he retired, more than we ever knew about him, pre-retirement, right? Type deal. So there ain't no way that, we would have thought that, Tyson Fury would be the best heavyweight out right now. We barely gave Tyson Fury any credit because Tyson Fury, up until then, right? He wasn't displaying any power. You know what I mean? He beat Klitschko. He beat Klitschko. He beat the old ass Klitschko, right? And then after he beat the old ass Klitschko and retired, Anthony Joshua came back, you know what I mean? And he beat the old ass Klitschko. We barely was even watching heavyweight boxing, you know what I mean, at that time. To be real with y'all, you know what I mean? So we damn sure didn't think, Tyson Fury would be the one to beat Deontay Wilder, right? So now we got Anthony Joshua, right? And this is 4 years ago. This 4 years ago still, right? We got Anthony Joshua. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on there. So I'm still 4 years ago, right? We got Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder sitting atop the heavyweight division as the two baddest men on the planet. I got 9 people in the building and 5 likes. Can y'all do your boy a favor? Can y'all smash that like button for your boy? Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, greatly appreciate it if you could smash that like button for your boy. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time. But right now we have 4 years ago, we got Wilder and Anthony Joshua on the top of the world. Now let's talk about us wanting this fight 4 years ago. 4 years ago would have been, perfect timing for this fight, right? Right? Okay, let's talk about it. So we got Joshua being seen as the best heavyweight in the world. We got Deontay Wilder seen as the best heavyweight in the world. Now, there was 2 chances where we almost got this fight between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. The first one came when Eddie Hearn was trying to sign Deontay Wilder to his promotional outlet, DAZN, about 4 years ago. Eddie Hearn offered Deontay Wilder $100 million to sign to DAZN. But Deontay Wilder said that, yeah, Eddie Hearn did offer him $100 million, but he said he didn't add Anthony Joshua inside of the contract. Deontay Wilder said he would have signed with Eddie Hearn, but Eddie Hearn wanted to sign him and put him in fights with everybody except Anthony Joshua. What Deontay Wilder just came out and he said after AJ lost the last fight was he felt like Eddie Hearn wanted to sign him, right? But he was never going to give him the AJ fight, which is why he wasn't in the contract, because he wanted to have Deontay Wilder as an insurance policy because he knew that Anthony Joshua would lose. Now, that's what Deontay Wilder said. He said he didn't sign because he didn't have Anthony Joshua in the contract. And Deontay Wilder later came out and said he felt like the reason that he wanted to keep him around Anthony Joshua and not necessarily give him that fight with Anthony Joshua because he wanted an insurance policy. If Anthony Joshua was to lose, then he will have Deontay Wilder to fall back on and sell. It was a smart idea from Eddie. Eddie basically tried to lock up the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? It almost worked, but he wanted AJ, to be the star, instead of actually letting AJ and Wilder get in the ring and fight one another. You know what I mean? Type deal. So that was the very first time that we almost had this fight, right? That was the very first time that we almost had this fight between Wilder and AJ. You know what I mean? The second time, that we almost had this fight between Wilder and AJ, I think it may have been later that same year, right? But this is the situation. I got 10 people in the building. I got 7 likes. I need y'all to smash that like button for your boy, whether you're here for a good time or a long time, whether it's your first time. If you could not make it your last time, could you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel? Greatly appreciate you. Greatly appreciate you. But let's keep it going, right? So the second time that we almost got this fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury was a little after that. It may have been the same year, it may have been 2019 or something like that. But Anthony Joshua was giving an interview, right? And in this interview, the reporter said to Anthony Joshua that Team Deontay Wilder, Al Haymon, and the PBC, he said they offered you $60 million for a fight with Deontay Wilder. How do you feel about that? This was Anthony Joshua's first time hearing this news, in particular himself, right? What's good, G5? Appreciate you sliding through. This was Anthony Joshua's first time hearing this news himself, right? Anthony Joshua, he agreed to the fight. So at this time, I know we about to get Wilder versus, Anthony Joshua. So Anthony Joshua agreed to the fight. The reporter asked him, he said, 60 million? He was like, He was like, we'll take 50 million. Just give us 50 million, we'll take it. So, Deontay Wilder heard, I hope they make Joshua versus Wilder next year. Me too, Alfonso. We about to talk about it. I'm building up. You know what I mean? So Anthony Joshua said, I'll take 50 million. You know what I mean? So Deontay Wilder, Al Haymon, and them, they heard that, right? So Deontay Wilder, his team, and Al Haymon and the PBC, they came up with the $50 million for Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. Now, Anthony Joshua said, we'll take 50 million. We won't even need 60 million, right? They got it. So now we got Deontay Wilder offering Anthony Joshua the 50 million that he asked for. Anthony Joshua asked for the 50 million. And Anthony Joshua was actually willing and ready to make this fight. I want y'all to stay with me. See where I'm going. I got 11 people in the building. I got 8 likes. Can y'all do your boy a favor? Smash that like button for your boy, whether you're here for a good time or a long time. Because y'all do your boy a favor. Smash that like button for your boy. Smash that thumbs up on the way in. So Anthony Joshua agreed to it, the 50 million. Deontay Wilder offered he said offered the 50 million, right? Anthony Joshua agreed to the 50 million. But this is what messed up the second fight, right? 4 years ago. Eddie Hearn is the one who pump faked us on that second fight. Because once Anthony Joshua said 50 million, Deontay Wilder gave him the 50 million. That's when Eddie Hearn came out and said, well, yeah, we got 50 million, but I want the fight to be in the zone, and the fight has to be in the UK. Now, Eddie, you know that if the PBC is paying 50 million for this fight is going to have to be on PBC, and it's going to have to be in America. The only reason Eddie Hearn would say something like that is if he didn't really want Anthony Joshua to get in the ring. I think Eddie Hearn ruined that fight the second time trying to protect Anthony Joshua. you know what I mean, that 50 million offer, that was Eddie Hearn's fault. Eddie Hearn blew that. He stopped that fight because both fighters was on board at that point in time, and Eddie Hearn was the one who jumped in with all those extra stipulations here and there. Well, you got to do this and you got to do that. Eddie Hearn is what blew that fight the first time, and I know why he did that. He was like, well, I'm not about to put him in there with Deontay Wilder and get his head knocked off when I could just keep putting him in the ring with these guys that I know he could beat. Not bad opponents, but opponents that I know he could beat. Anthony Joshua is the real life Rocky Balboa. But not putting him in there with not bad fighters, but fighters that, you know, that I know he could beat, right? I'd much rather do that to maximize my dollar than to put him in there with Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? Wilder wouldn't sign to me, so I'm not going to, you know, lose my biggest asset, you know what I mean, to you. So Eddie Hearn messed up that fight that second time, and then we all know what happened after that, right? We all know what happened after that, right? Anthony Joshua moved on to fight Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder moved on to bring Tyson Fury from his coke crackhead being fucking grave, right? And Fury had a draw with Deontay Wilder. So Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder had a draw with Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? A little Anthony Joshua mystique gone, a little Deontay Wilder mystique gone, right? So boom, they go back into the second fight. Anthony Joshua beats Andy Ruiz, right? Boom. Wilder and Fury go into their second fight. Now Wilder has his first loss. So now AJ has a loss, and now Wilder has a loss, right? Wilder fights highly controversial. Highly controversial. I actually think Wilder was already a big star. Wilder became a bigger star throughout all of that controversy, right? But his first loss was highly controversial. But now we got Anthony Joshua taking his first loss, and we got Deontay against Andy. He came back, beat Andy. Wilder had his draw against Fury, and then he came back and he lost to Tyson Fury, right? So now we got Anthony Joshua with a loss, and now we got Deontay Wilder with a loss. So now each fighter has one loss at this point. Can y'all do your boy a favor? I got 14 people in the building. I got 11 likes. Can y'all do your boy a favor? Can y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy, whether you're here for a good time or a long time? Greatly appreciated. So now we got Wilder with a loss. We got Anthony Joshua with a loss. Wilder then has to go on the year hiatus, right? Because Tyson Fury, you know, the guy who he just got his first loss to, doesn't want to rematch him, you know what I mean, in the second fight. In the third fight that Wilder, you know, has the rematch clause for. So now Wilder has to kind of get put on ice a little bit, you know what I mean, going through a court situation with Tyson Fury in order to get him a third fight. So you had AJ in between. What's good, J-Man? Great. Appreciate you sliding through this, John J-Man. TWT in the building. Make sure y'all subscribe to my brother, J-Man. Great. TWT, my Filipino brother over there doing his thing. TWT International. Shout out my guy, J-Man. Great. So now we got Wilder in the court situation, right? Going through his thing in this court. So we have AJ. I can't remember exactly who AJ fought. Wasn't somebody too good, but AJ went in there, sparked him, knocked him out. Now, let's put it all into consideration. Let's take everything into consideration. Context. I'm taking us in the walk through the past now, right? So now we got Wilder out. You know, we got Wilder and Fury caught up in their second fight court situation. So now AJ don't have a dance partner. You got Wilder and Tyson Fury that's running boxing right now, true enough, right? You got the whole Wilder and Fury situation, the whole Wilder and Fury saga that's going on. That's running boxing. That's dominating the headline, the heavyweight. Yes, AJ got all the belts, but all the attention is over here on Wilder and Fury at this time, right? You got AJ over here still taking fights, but he's not taking fights with nobody that we want to see. He's not taking fights with, you know, some of the best, with the best heavyweights. You know what I mean? He taking fights though, right? So now you got this Alexander Usyk guy, the winner of this Cruiserweight Super 6 that nobody really knows about at this point. Nobody is checking for Cruiserweight. We still ain't checking for Cruiserweight. You know what I mean? So you got Alexander Usyk. He steps in, boom. He's fighting Chad Witherspoon. Usyk versus Chad Witherspoon. So you know what? Everybody's watching Alexander Usyk. Now I'm telling people, y'all, Usyk good, y'all. Usyk good. He got all the skills in the world. I'm telling you. He won that Cruiserweight Super 6 tournament. The man good you like. And people telling me, man, don't nobody care about Cruiserweight. Who he beat? He beat Tony Bellew. Man, who the fuck is Tony Bellew? You know what I mean? Type shit. So I'm like, he about to fight Chad Witherspoon. Y'all go see. Y'all go see. Wait till he move up to heavyweight. Y'all go watch him now because he heavyweight. So he fight Chad Witherspoon and he win in a very, very, very underwhelming performance. But let me tell you what I saw in Alexander Usyk's first fight at heavyweight, because you know I really do watch boxing. I really was watching Usyk before a lot of you niggas even knew who that dude was. But let me tell you what I saw in his first defense with Chad Witherspoon. And I'm going to actually slow it down a second, and I'm going to tell you the whole Alexander Usyk situation with Eddie Hearn in the zone and how that came about. Did y'all know that Alexander Usyk wasn't with Eddie Hearn in the zone for the duration of his career? Alexander Usyk was a fucking free agent. Alexander Usyk was barely getting money fights. Alexander Usyk got signed by DAZN, which was his first big boxing deal. He got signed by DAZN because he became the IBF mandatory for Anthony Joshua's belt. Alexander Usyk was never on DAZN to be pushed as a superstar. He was on DAZN to be paid so that he wouldn't want to fight Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn thought that he could sign him, you know, give him a little money, warm over and all of that. But he had already been named the mandatory before he signed to DAZN. That's why Eddie Hearn signed him. He signed Anthony Joshua's mandatory to try to smooth over the situation. He signed Alexander Usyk for 3 fights. Alexander Usyk told Eddie Hearn, if I sign you, I don't have to get my title shot right off the bat, but I do want my title shot before my contract is up. And that's what was in the contract with Alexander Usyk and Eddie Hearn. So that bought Eddie Hearn some time, which is why Anthony Joshua was able to fight this guy, fight that guy in between. Now, let's go back to Alexander Usyk and Chad Witherspoon. Now, I was telling y'all to watch Alexander Usyk's first fight against Chad Witherspoon. Now, if you go back and watch that fight, notice how small that fucking ring was in that fight with Chad Witherspoon and Alexander Usyk. You got Alexander Usyk in his first fight moving up the heavyweight. Now, he's a little fat at this point, right? Because he got to pack the weight on just to get up to the weight at this time. So he ain't really had time to mold himself in the heavyweight. So when he fought Chad Witherspoon, he was a little fat. You know what I mean? The ring was a little small, right? Ring was extremely small. Go back and watch the fight. But he won that fight in a very unimpressive fashion. But he did what he always do. He let Chad Witherspoon get tired. He let some of that heat go off Chad Witherspoon's punches. And then he proceeded to put it on Chad Witherspoon. Chad Witherspoon said at the end of the fight, oh, I had to get off the couch. I ain't really try to get off the couch. I just collect the check. The man really said that. You can go back, you can Google that shit. Chad Witherspoon really said, I just got off the couch. I came here to collect the check. I wasn't supposed to go 10 rounds with him, and I did. That's what he said. So y'all was telling me, oh, man, that Alexander Usyk dude's trash. The dude trash, man. He was a heavyweight. He almost got knocked out by Chad Witherspoon. So I was like, all right, bet. So Alexander Usyk's second fight roll around, right, with Derek Chisora on DAZN. You know, Derek Chisora. All y'all was telling me Derek Chisora gonna knock Alexander Usyk out. I was like, y'all, I'm telling y'all, no, he's not, man. He better. He's gonna be his second fight at heavyweight. I'm telling y'all, his second fight at heavyweight, he gonna look better than he looked at his first fight at heavyweight. I'm trying to tell you, yes, he is, right? So he go out there, he fight Derek Chisora again. He is already the IBF mandatory. So he taking step aside money at this point to fight these extra fights to give AJ some time. Eddie Hearn really trying to buy AJ time, you know, to do what he got to do. You know what I mean? Type deal. So Usyk fights Derek Chisora now. I think Eddie Hearn trying to get Alexander Usyk beat. Notice the ring with Derek Chisora and Chad Witherspoon. Go back and check those Alexander Usyk fights with Chisora and Chad Witherspoon. Look how fucking small those rings are, right? So Alexander Usyk fights Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora comes in hot like always, swinging, trying to knock his head off. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, oh shit, man, Derek Chisora about to knock my motherfucking boy out. But just like classic Alexander Usyk, what's good, Isaiah Felix? Just like classic Alexander Usyk, he waits for the big dude to get tired, right? And, you know, boom, boom, moving, sticking, moving. And then he start putting the ass whooping on the big man on the back end of the fight. You know what I mean? Classic Alexander Usyk. You know what I mean? Now he's about to fight Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn Eddie Hearn is trying to extend his contract, trying to, have him fight this, have him fight this fight, have him fight that fight. He tell Eddie Hearn, he like, Eddie Hearn, no, I don't want the money. He said, I'm here for legacy. I don't got that many fights left. I want my title shot. So now Eddie Hearn is forced to give him the title shot because now Alexander Usyk has his mandatory paper that says he's due to fight Anthony Joshua next. And he also has this contract with Eddie Hearn that says, by the end of my contract, you have to give me a fight. You have to give me my IBF mandatory fight with Anthony Joshua, right? So now it's Alexander Usyk's third and last fight with DAZN. Pay attention to me now, because, I'm catching a little the time frame. We almost there. This is his third and last fight with DAZN. His first fight, his first Anthony Joshua fight was his last fight on DAZN. Right? So he fights Anthony Joshua, right? Now we got Anthony Joshua in the ring with Alexander Usyk. We got Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury finally done with their court situation, right? They had sold you that Tyson Fury was going to fight motherfucking Anthony Joshua for all the belts, right? That was before Alexander Usyk got this fight with Anthony Joshua. I need y'all to stay with me, right? So, people wondering why Eddie Hearn and everybody's selling you Fury and AJ when, first of all, Fury is in court with Wilder. And Joshua got to fight his IBF mandatory with Alexander Usyk. They trying to hit y'all with the flex because they both want to do other shit. Eddie Hearn didn't want to give Alexander Usyk them fucking title shots. He signed Alexander Usyk to keep him away from AJ, like he tried to do Deontay Wilder. But Alexander Usyk had that mandatory paper, so he couldn't get past it. You know what I mean? Fury was trying to fight AJ. AJ was trying to fight Fury. They knew, Hearn and AJ knew that they couldn't beat Alexander Usyk. You know what I mean? Fury didn't think he could beat Deontay Wilder. He didn't, which is why he didn't want to fight him again. That man, he told you, I'm never fighting him again. Even to this day, he told you that. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody trying to go through that shit, constantly going through car wrecks and shit. Who want to constantly get in car crashes and shit? Because that's what's getting punched by Deontay Wilder is like. Who want to get in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 car crashes and shit like that? Ain't nobody trying to constantly do that shit to themselves. They mind, body, and soul and shit. You know what I mean? I want y'all to stay with it. So this is why they pushing the Fury and AJ fight. But y'all saw what really happened, right? Fury ended up having to fight Wilder in that third fight. And Alexander Usyk and Joshua ended up having to fight Alexander Usyk in his first fight. I want y'all to stay with me. Joshua had to fight Alexander Usyk in their first fight. Usyk Joshua won was when all this was going on. Usyk was fighting for his title shot. He was like, nah, I want my title shot. It's about legacy, Eddie. I ain't got that long. So now we got Joshua versus Usyk happening, and we got Fury versus Wilder happening, right? 3. Wilder ended up losing his fight, and Anthony Joshua ended up losing to Alexander Usyk in his fight. You know what I mean? But let's step back just a little bit. Now I'm telling y'all Alexander Usyk about to beat Anthony Joshua, right? This before he beat him. Now I'm telling y'all, right? Usyk about to beat Joshua. Y'all telling me, no, he ain't. There's your Shore almost knocked him out. That man barely got through there with Chaz Witherspoon. There's your Shore damn near took that man's head off. You think that man friend to beat up AJ? AJ 6'6". Look at AJ. That nigga buff. I slapped oil on AJ chest and shit like that. So y'all telling me all that good? I'm like, nah, bro. Go check my fight, my Alexander Usyk AJ fight breakdown and prediction from the first fight. I'm like, nah, bro. Shay girl, what's good, Queen? Appreciate you sliding through. I'm like, nah, bro. That man finna bust AJ ass up. He finna bust AJ ass up. I'm telling you. You know, so what happened? Alexander Usyk went in that ring and he damn near stopped AJ, right? So now we got Wilder taking his second loss, right, to Tyson Fury. So Wilder got 2 losses now, quote unquote losses, right? And then Anthony Joshua taking his second loss, 1 to Andy Ruiz, and now 1 to Alexander Usyk. Now remember, I told you that the third fight Alexander Usyk had at heavyweight in his first fight with Anthony Joshua, Chaz Witherspoon, Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua. That was Alexander Usyk's last fight on DAZN. So now people are saying at this point in time, right? We getting over the Wilder loss with Fury, right? We dealing with the Wilder loss to Fury, right? And now people are saying, why is Anthony Joshua going right back into this rematch with Alexander Usyk? He's not ready. I can look at him and see that he's not ready. He's not ready. You know, I heard that question a lot. That question was, said a whole lot, right? He's not ready. Why he going back in there, Usyk? He's not ready. But let me tell y'all why AJ had to go back in there with Alexander Usyk. Let me tell you why he had to. Because at this point, right, Eddie Hearn's plan to buy time with Alexander Usyk 3 fights ago, or to try to buy him out of his championship spot, Alexander Usyk 3 fights ago when he signed him to DAZN, right? That plan had failed. Alexander Usyk got his 2 fights, collected his money. He said, I want my championship fight. I don't want the money anymore, right? So Alexander Usyk beat his fighter. So now Alexander Usyk is out of his contract with DAZN, free agent. He can do what he want to do. He got all the straps. And the only way that Eddie Hearn can guarantee another shot at the titles, right, to get him back on his side in his stable, is if he use his rematch clause. Because if you go on, you let Alexander Usyk fight a Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder or even like a Joe Joyce or something like that, it's not a sure thing that Alexander Usyk, wins, right? So, Eddie Hearn had to trigger that automatic rematch clause because that was his ace in the hole. Now, whether AJ was ready for it or not, AJ could get ready. He probably was thinking that, well, we all was thinking, shit, AJ big as hell. You know what I mean? Maybe he do beat him the second time, right? So, the reason AJ took the automatic rematch clause is because that was Eddie Hearn's only out, because Alexander Usyk is not signed to DAZN. He's not signed to DAZN anymore. That last fight was shown on DAZN because Eddie Hearn put it on. But Usyk is a free agent. Usyk actually is business partners with the same people that Anthony Joshua is business partner with. Those Saudi Arabia guys. You know what I mean? Because those are Anthony Joshua guys. But if you beat Anthony Joshua, then of course they do business with you now because you the champion. Not saying they still not gonna do business with Anthony Joshua because they is, but now Alexander Usyk is in the loop, so he doing business directly, with his investors right now. He been a free agent, most of his career. He been had Usyk. He had small promotional companies, but DAZN was his first big one. He only signed to them for 3 fights. You know what I mean? So now you got Joshua. Now you got Joshua with 2 losses. Let me get my charge. Now you got Joshua with 2 losses. You got Wilder with 2 losses. Wilder got 1 draw and 2 losses to Tyson Fury. You got AJ losing. You got AJ losing to Andy Ruiz, coming back, beating him. And now you got him losing to Alexander Usyk the first time. So now AJ and Alexander Usyk, they signed a fight. They signed a fight a year later, which was what? This past Saturday, right? Hold on, let me get my chart. So now you got Eddie Hearn. Triggering his rematch clause, right? Much to the surprise of everybody, because you got people asking, why is Eddie Hearn sending AJ right back in there? He sent him right back in there because he didn't have a choice. It was his only shot at the belts. He ain't want the belts to get away. Alexander Usyk is no longer signed to DAZN, so his only ace in the hole was for him to trigger that rematch clause. That he signed in for. You know what I mean? So now we fast forward. We don't even got to fast forward because I done walked you down to where we at, right? So now we at the Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua rematch, right? And we all know what happened, right? We all know what happened in the rematch. What happened in the rematch, y'all? We all know what happened in the rematch. Anthony Joshua fights a much better fight. He fights a much better fight, right? He fights a much better fight. Now, I had walked away, Jay Gibson. He fights a much better fight, right? In the third fight. So, he still loses, but he fights a much better fight. So, now, we here, right? AJ had his meltdown. And what y'all think about AJ meltdown? And I'm going to do another little piece on AJ. I don't want to ruin it. It ain't got nothing to do with his meltdown or nothing, because I know enough people that already talked about the meltdown. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna do another little piece on AJ, and it's about how AJ performed in his rematches. You know what I mean? I still think that AJ, does better in rematches. I think that's true, right? You know what I mean? But AJ loses the fight. Now AJ gets his third loss, right? Wilder has 2 losses. AJ loses the fight, has his meltdown and whatnot. AJ reacted like I gonna say my piece on it because I ain't spoke on it yet. So this will be my time to speak on it. We're gonna speak on it right here. I say my piece on AJ, how he reacted. AJ, I didn't agree with what he did at all. At first, I was watching it right. I actually had no problem with him going straight out the ring and walking straight to the back. I had no problem with that. You know what I mean? I had no problem with that because in order not to do the wrong thing, sometimes you got to do that. My mama always told me, son, if you get into a situation, you can always, walk away. It won't make you no less of a man to walk away. Just walk away. And I didn't walk away from many situations, but I know the situations where I knew where she was talking to me, when I could hear her voice, I'm like, oh, this is what she talking about. Just walk away. I think AJ should have just walked away. I think that's what he did. His first mind was listen to mama and just walk away from this shit because you don't know how you go react. You don't know what you gonna do. So just just remove yourself from the situation, right? But AJ doubled back, and then when he doubled back, at first I thought he was about to go in there and he was about to apologize, for walking out on him, not shaking his hand, not giving him his credit or nothing like that. And he did kind of do that. AJ did kind of do that. But he also threw a bunch of more weird shit up in there. Like, how did you beat me? You're not strong. I worked hard. I got hard. Like, who are you trying to? You were selling yourself to Usyk? I mean, like, I felt like his first idea was the best one. He should have just, walked out of the ring. But nonetheless, I ain't gonna pile on AJ about this shit because the piece that I do about him actually gonna be like a positive piece. So I don't want to pile on him about that shit though. But I think he should have just walked, straight out the ring like he initially was doing. I think what AJ did right there, AJ, my brother Five said it best, right? AJ reacted like a man. It was over. I think Five said that. I think G5 said that. He reacted like his career was over. He reacted like that was the end of his career. Or was that brother Dude? I can't remember which one it was, Five or Dude. Both them niggas be dropping them gems and shit. I forgot which one it was. But the man reacted like his career was over. And that's exactly what I saw. I'm like, AJ. I'm like, I was on my live stream. I'm looking at him like, AJ. I said, is this man having a meltdown? So I turned the sound on to hear what he was saying. I said, this man's having a meltdown in the ring. I said, why he acting like his fucking career over? The first thing I said on my stream was, I said, nigga, you still can fight Wilder. There's still an $80 million fight. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? Why he acting like his career over? My AJ career is not over. And I walked us around this whole tree for 40 minutes, right? That we've been in here to get to this point. AJ career is not over. Deontay Wilder took those 2 losses to Tyson Fury, but Deontay Wilder's career is not over. Let me tell y'all the irony of this situation. Right now. 4 years ago, this fight between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua was the biggest fight in fucking boxing, right? This fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder was the biggest fight in boxing 4 years ago. And guess what I'm telling you today, right now, 4 years later. Now, I walked you down this Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury tree for a reason, right? Yeah, those two got the belts. But let me tell you why. Right? I feel like AJ versus Wilder is still the biggest fight in boxing right now behind Terence Crawford and Earl, of course, you know what I mean? But the biggest fight in heavyweight is still Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Still to this day. Till this day is Anthony Joshua versus Deontay. Let me tell you this. Okay, watch this. Who is more popular? Who's the more popular out of these 4 people? Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. Put them in order by popularity. The people I just named by popularity, right? Put them people in order. Wilder, AJ, Fury, Usyk. Put them in order for me, y'all. Y'all tell me, just put them in. I want y'all to put them in order, like somebody, just one person. I want one person just to put them in order for me, and we gonna go from there. Who y'all think the most popular? And let's see if we agree out of those four. Like, put them in order. Who would be your one? Who would be your two? Who would be your three? Who would be your four? You know what I mean? Wilder, AJ, Fury, Usyk. Shay girl, bet. So I'm gonna put Shay. Now Shay girl, I 100% agree with you. And look, and Tay D came right behind. So now we getting somewhere, right? so y'all see where I'm going with this, right? So y'all see where I'm going with this, right? Yep. And I knew Nazay, and see what I'm saying. But your one and your two, no matter how you feel about it, your one and your two is going to be Wilder and AJ. I swear it is. When you finish with it, your one and your two is going to be Wilder and AJ. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you want to slice it, you want to slice it diagonally, you want to slice it down the middle, you want to slice it quarter, you want to slice it this way, you want to slice it that way. You know what I mean? Nazay, we get into it, Nazay. We get into it. And I'm here telling you right now that in 2022, right? These two are still the biggest, most popular fucking heavyweights in the sport today. They still bring the most bells. They still ring the most bells. They still got the biggest clout. Still. To this day. To this fucking day. Still to this fucking day. This is the biggest fight in the heavyweight division. Belts, no belts, straps, no straps. If you put fucking Wilder and AJ on the same day you put Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury on, ain't nobody watching that fucking Fury Alexander Usyk fight. And I actually fuck with Usyk, and I'm not watching this shit. You crazy? How you think I'm finna miss Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder? Especially with how good AJ just looked in his last fight and how fucking slim and trim Wilder just looked. Let Wilder come out here and start Robert Helenius' ass. Man, y'all better stop playing. Y'all better stop playing. This fight is still the biggest fight in the heavyweight division right now. I feel like they need each other more now. They need each other more now. Now, again, they don't need each other. They both rich as hell. Wilder could go on, make $100 million by himself. Anthony Joshua could go on, make $100 million by himself. They don't need each other. Okay, watch this. If they both could make $100 million by themselves, if they fight each other, motherfucker, that's $200 million. Because that one fight go get them damn near $80 million. Fuck what you talking about. Yeah, they can go make $100 million here and $100 million there. But I guarantee if they fight each other, they go double that shit, and it's gonna be much faster. They need each other more now. And I'm not even talking about money. I'm just talking about for you money heads, for you rich ass niggas. Like y'all don't see me walking around this bitch every day with my own shit, my 2 cars in my driveway, my other car in Texas, and my other car in Florida. But anyway, like y'all, like I ain't talking about no money aspect. They need each other for a goddamn, for their legacy still, for their resume name still. Y'all are heavyweights. It ain't about no fucking losses. It ain't about losses. Period. It really ain't about losses. It really ain't about losses when you're a heavyweight. Muhammad Ali got like 6 of them bitches. 5 of them bitches, 7, however many Muhammad Ali got. Mike Tyson got about 5, 6 of them bitches. Frank losses, Lennox Lewis got losses. Man, you know, bro, losses don't mean a motherfucking thing. Especially not a heavyweight. I think AJ needs Wilder more, at least legacy. This man retarded. What's good, PJ? PJ just slide through this jump, PJ. But yeah, man, them folks still need each other. Like, and my girl Shay said, you know, she feel like AJ need Wilder more and whatnot. But however you want to slice it, man. They need each other right now. Big name Wilder, big name Joshua. They go get paid off it regardless. Belt no, but they getting paid off it regardless. You know what I mean? And the winner is right back on top. Look at it like the Olympics, right? If Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk fight, right, they show gold and silver, right? But Wilder and AJ, y'all still top 5 heavyweights. Y'all still top 3, top 4 heavyweights. Literally, y'all the top 4. You know what I mean? No order particularly. Wilder, AJ, Fury, Usyk. Like, y'all the top 4, really, until proven otherwise. JoJo is nice. Ortiz nice. You got Frank Sanchez down there. You got Big Baby and all them. But y'all the top dogs until proven otherwise. Y'all the top dogs. And they just dead on there, right? So, ain't nothing bigger than a Wilder Fury fight. A Wilder AJ fight. Like, I feel like that fight even bigger now, and it mean more now to both fighters. It will mean more to them. I think we'll get an even better fight. Where AJ might have been too, full of himself back then, too rich. Maybe he would have laid down to Wilder. You know what I mean? Type deal. Now, both guys should be hungry. We about to see what Wilder look like coming off his Robert Helenius fight. And then don't let Wilder come back and starch Robert Helenius. You know what I mean? Don't let him come back and starch him. You know what I mean? I already think, people want to see this. He said Usyk make Doug Wilder again after he get that dub. Usyk won't be ducking Wilder. I won't consider it a duck. All fighting Wilder could do for Alexander Usyk is enhance his legacy. To be real with you. Because I'm going to do another Southern T. I'm going to go heavyweights today. I'm going to go heavyweights today, y'all. It's going to be a heavyweight day. I'm going to do AJ. I'm going to do Usyk. Right now is Wilder AJ. I got one coming with AJ by himself after these. I want to talk about a little different shit. You know what I mean? That's going to be a little later on. And then I got another one with Alexander Usyk. Deals. I don't think if Usyk beat Fury and retire, there wouldn't be a duck of Wilder to me. I got too much respect for Alexander Usyk to say that now, especially now what he already did. But look, let me tell you this, Deals Pooley, right? If Usyk is to be victorious over Tyson Fury, I think we got to start talking about Alexander Usyk maybe being, we got to put him in the GOAT conversation. We got to put him in the top 5 all-time conversation for sure. I'm going to do a little later on about that. Y'all ain't going to y'all may not like that, but remember, I was fucking with Usyk pre-fucking Chad Witherspoon. I was telling y'all that he beat up Joe Joyce back there in the amateur. He been fighting tall people in Michael Hunter, then they killed Michael Hunter. You know what I mean? I know in Naze, and I don't think my boy is either. But if he do though, Naze. Bruce, yeah, what's good, Bruce? Fire that shit up, Bruce. Fire that shit up, but what's good, Gad? PJ signed through this young Gad, PJ Big Dog. He said this fight ain't going to be good. AJ Chin is soft for now, 2018. AJ ain't hungry at all. I don't know if we know that, PGH. And nigga, football season about to start too, nigga. I'm a Titans fan, you a Pittsburgh fan. I'm on your ass, PGH. Okay, we're back to boxing. But I don't know, PGH. I don't know, man. AJ, I don't think AJ got a heart problem, PJ. He got a mental problem, right? I don't think his chin soft. He got a chin. I didn't think that boy takes a punch to the face and shit. You know what I mean? He got a chin. He ain't never been knocked out. When AJ get hurt, it be more so because that nigga be tired. He be more so tired than be his chin. You know what I mean? I don't think it's his chin, bro. I don't think it's his chin. It be his mental. It be him and his head. I think he got heart and I think he got a chin. We gonna talk about it later, man. Cause I'm gonna talk about how AJ really do get better in rematches. That's gonna be my second one today. I may drop a little information in between, but we gonna talk about how AJ really do get better in rematches. Do what I think, Naze. He be tired out there. Do what I think. He be gassing, and that fuck with his mental. When you get tired, your brain go, your mind be the thing to go. He said, hell no, Usyk resume. PJ Big Dog, look at this, bro. You got to think. Think about it like, y'all can make me give up my information. But y'all niggas about to show up to my Alexander Usyk show because I'm ready to argue that. But PGH, resume. How heavyweights, right? Think of the best heavyweights. The best ones only got like 2 or 3 good wins for real. Now Muhammad Ali may be the anomaly. He might have like 9 motherfuckers on his resume, right? But most of them only got like 2 or 3 big wins. A lot of the people that we like in heavyweight, they big win might be Muhammad Ali, and that might be the only one. You know what I mean? A lot of them only got 2 or 3 big wins, PGH. Tay MMA was good, Tay. Appreciate you sliding through this, young queen. TWT in the building, my girl, Tay. Try to hear me out, PGH, right? Most of the great heavyweights only got like 2 or 3 wins. Let's look at Usyk, 2 or 3 wins, bro. He got 2 of them over AJ. Let's say he add that Tyson Fury win on top of it, right? So he be 2 out of 3 of the best heavyweights of his era. That's if he beat Tyson Fury. Not now, PGH. But I'm saying if he get that Tyson Fury win, let's say that he take Tyson Fury, right? And let's say that he don't fight Wilder. I think even then that put him in the top 10 all time ever, bro. The AJ wins and the Fury win, that would be the best heavyweight, right? And the second or third best heavyweight of his era, right? He would be considered the first, right? And he coming from cruiserweight. So he got cruiserweight undisputed, bro. That will be heavyweight undisputed. 2 AJ wins, and he took Fury and beat the best heavyweight of his time because Fury beat the best heavyweight of his time, Deontay Wilder. That's if Usyk don't fight Wilder, right? If Usyk, let's say Usyk fight Deontay Wilder and he beat Wilder, bruh. Let's say Usyk fight Fury and he beat him. I don't think he's going to beat Fury. That's a tall task, literally and figuratively. That's a tall task, right? That's a tall task. I don't think he beat Fury. But let's say he beat Fury, right? And he go on to fight Wilder, and let's say he beat Wilder, which I don't think he can beat Wilder either, because that's another tall task. And I think Wilder may spark him. You know what I mean? But let's say he do that, bro. Come on now, y'all. Like, god damn, y'all. But he gonna fight Dev Tyson, but he got to get past Fury first, which gonna be a tall task. You know what I mean? But if he able to do that, bro. Terry, what's good, Terry? Shout out my guy Terry Smooth Jr. sliding through that, John. Long time no see, my brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure I catch up with y'all. But yeah, that's just that's just me, But if he beat Tyson Fury though, I most definitely put him in the top 10 because that'll be. He beat 2 fighters, AJ and Fury, who was seen as the best, as one of the best of their era. So I gotta give him. If you look at most of the old school heavyweights, they wins, not the people they fought, right? And you gotta already consider Usyk coming from cruiserweight. You know what I mean? When you look at the fact that he beat right now he got one of them, right? Right now, he just a good heavyweight. Right now, he may be the best heavyweight of his time. He may be. You still got people who think Wilder can beat him, right? So there's that question. You still got people who think Tyson Fury can beat him. So there's that question, right? So he may be the best heavyweight of his time right now. So right now, no, I'm not saying he one of the best ever right now. No, I'm not saying that right now. He a good heavyweight. And you should respect him when you see him on the street. For sure that, because he was cruiserweight, undisputed, and now he's heavyweight, unified champ. He beat AJ twice. You got to respect him for that, man. That man got his medals. He got his gold. He got his straps. He legit, man. I do think he's an all-time fighter. Top 10? No. But what he done right now, yeah, I do think he's an all-time fighter. I think he deserves to be in the room with the rest of the heavyweights. Not better than them, but he do deserve to be in the room. And I argue anybody with that. I argue anybody on that. Alexander Usyk deserves to be in the room with them folks. Not better than them, but he is one of them guys. He is today. Now, if he beat Fury, now we talking top 5 all time. We talking top 5 all time because he cruiserweight undisputed, heavyweight undisputed. Now we talking top 5 all time with Usyk. 2-time undisputed. Nobody ever done that before in life. In the men's, Clarissa Shields done it, but that's a different story. Shout out my girl Clarissa Shields. You know what I mean? So hey, Jay, I just only go off the facts, bro, and I'm consistent, Jay. You know, I'm consistent with it, and I've been messing with Usyk, bro. So I ain't got no problem saying this. I don't got no problem saying this, bro. Like, for real. Like, when you just body your work. You know what I mean? And if he beat Tyson Fury, we got to start talking top 5 all time, bro. And then let's say he beat Fury and then he go fight Deontay Wilder and he beat Wilder after that. Yeah, I don't know. I could argue that, PJ, but yeah, I could argue that. But you know, again, PJ, you know, you could say that, but man, I could name you. Is Mike Tyson in your top 10, PGH? You got Mike Tyson in your top 10, PGH? Mike Tyson in your top 10, PGH? You got Joe Frazier in your top 10, PGH? Argue a couple of heavyweights for Mike Tyson and Joe Frazier. You know what I mean? I can argue a couple of them. So if they in there, then I can argue that. But, you know, that's opinionated. You know what I mean? But, you know, you may feel that way, but the masses feel like Tyson Fury one of the greatest of all time. We may not feel that way, but when you get down to it, that Wilder win puts him in that conversation. He just does. He just does. And I understand it. I understand we have a hard time, you know, as sports fans in general. We have a hard time, you know, processing what's right in front of us right now and, you know, putting it into its proper perspective, you know, because we always feel like that, you know, the past times was just so much better. I get it. I understand that part of it. I don't do it, but I know people, I get it, right? But sometimes you got to take a look at what's really in front of you. You got to put it in this proper perspective. Things don't, you know, the athletes, they don't get worse over time. You know what I mean? They actually get better. Now, that heavyweight era was different. That was different. But even then, and I'm talking about strictly wins, I can only compare you to what you did in your era, right? In your era. I can't drop Joe Frazier in this era and tell him to fight these guys. These guys are a whole lot bigger than Joe Frazier right now. These guys are a whole lot bigger than Muhammad Ali right now. You know what I mean? They're a whole lot bigger. I can't just drop. I wish I could, you know, just take them and drop them in them junks and shit. You know what I mean? You got to think George Foreman was considered a big heavyweight back then. George Foreman, like 6 foot tall, was like, you know, he was like 6 foot tall. You know what I mean? So it's a little different, man. I wish I could to see what it looked like. You know what I mean? But I would love to see what, you know, Tyson Fury would have looked like back then fighting in Muhammad Ali time. You know what I mean? I would have loved to see Wilder fucking fight Mike Tyson or fight fucking Joe Frazier, Smoking Joe. I personally think Wilder would knock Joe Frazier's head off, you know, coming in with this shit. I think Wilder knock his motherfucking head off. You know what I mean? But I don't know. You know what I mean? I can only respect what they did in their era. I could feel like Wilder better than all them niggas. I had to knock Muhammad Ali ass out cold. I could say PGH, Wilder beat Muhammad Ali because I don't know if Muhammad Ali get up from Deontay Wilder punch. Tyson Fury is bigger than all them. That's why he got up. Nobody else ever got up. 100% of the time, Wilder gonna knock you down. He knocked everybody he ever been in the ring with down. 100% of the time. I say down, not out. You got to be able to get up. How many guys got up? Stavern got up once. Tyson Fury got up. You know what I mean? And he ain't hit Stavern clean. When he hit Stavern clean in that second fight, he didn't even get up. So only one person got up, and that's Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? So my question would be, and Tyson Fury got dropped multiple times in multiple fights. So we can almost account, right? If Wilder knock you down, right? You got a 90% chance of getting up. 2 people got up out of 40. So you got a 90% chance of getting up. And if you do get up, right, and he knock you down again, you got a 50% chance of getting up because Tyson Fury got up and then Stiverne got up and he finished out the fight in the 12th round. So that's 50-50. But when he came back in the second fight, he knocked Stiverne that one time, right? And Stiverne got up and then he finished Stiverne ass. So that's 50-50. So so you got a 90% chance that you go get your ass knocked down. And if you get up, you got about a 50% chance that you might make it out. You know what I mean? So 90% chance Wilder go knock out all the heavyweights. He gonna knock them down. It's only a 50% chance, right, that if you get up, because it's a 90% chance that you won't get up. But if you somehow get up, it's a 50% chance that you might make it through that fight. You might make it through that fight. You know what I mean? So, but that's just what we think, though. That's just what we think. I think Wilder knock out all these niggas. That's just what I think. You know what I mean? That's just what I think. He said these heavyweights got stamina issues. Fight one time a year. Don't fight the best. Wilder go knock you out within the first 9 rounds. You know what I mean? What's good, Trap? What's good, Trap? We can debate it. Yeah, Fury, yep, steroids, coke, all that good shit. Yep. Yeah. Ali wasn't, and Joe Frazier, all them were not the great heavyweights, but some of them, our generation heavyweights was on steroids too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But yeah, but look, my favorite heavyweights wasn't. Deontay Wilder wasn't. Muhammad Ali wasn't. You know what I mean? My favorite heavyweights wasn't. My niggas wasn't. Y'all niggas was. My niggas wasn't. You know, my niggas wasn't. That's why I rock for Wilder. Straight, clean, straight down the middle, down the book. We don't even know Wilder's supposed to have a loss because he fought a fucking drug cheat. Talk your ass off. I saw a floppy glove. You can't tell me that shit ain't cheating. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, it is what it is though. But he got the loss. But all I'm saying is, you know, my dude was straight down the middle. Ain't no history on my guy. You know what I mean? But yeah. But that's why I only push clean heavyweights. I only push clean fighters. You don't hear me talk about none of them drug cheats. None of the guys y'all talk about. I might bump over them when they come up and shit. I bump over them when they come up. But you don't hear me just, and I love Roy Jones and shit. Evander Holyfield. You know what I mean? Marvin Hagler. People love to tell me Marvin Hagler beat up Errol Spence. He'll beat up Errol Spence. I'm like, yeah, probably so. But my guy, I ain't gonna do Marvin like that. But you know, y'all want to talk y'all ass out. Don't talk to me. Y'all talking to the right person. Y'all want to talk about old school, new school. Like this, let's just be real. My guys, Errol Spence, Wilder, you know, my guys clean. My guys clean fighters. Even Bud. My era of fighters. We ain't out here, you know. But that's conversation for a different day. You know, that's conversation for a different day. We ain't got to go down that lane right there. You know what I mean? We ain't got to go down that lane right there. But you know, I'm just consistent in everything I do. You don't hear me talk about, you know, steroid users though. No, of no kind, of no color, of no weight class. Nobody. You know, if I do talk about them, I'm probably bashing them. You know what I mean? Or I talk about them a certain way. When I do news on them, it's a certain way I do news on them. Like, you see them for, like, you know, it's a certain way I do news on them. You know what I mean? What time Brother Five going live? Brother Five going live? I've been on her for an hour. I just realized I'm on my better time. Yeah, 5 is live right now. Bit. But we finna go on, slide up out of here. My brother Five live on right now. I ain't gonna leave him too long. Y'all can get up with your boy back in the day. You know what I mean? He's at Titan Holyfield, not my favorite anyway. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Right. And I look up to Ali. Ali, you know, he a clean fighter. My favorite fighters, you know, Floyd Mayweather. Hey, you heard me in this motherfucking tape. Look, hey, my niggas don't do that shit, Tay. My niggas don't do that shit. I'm just, you know, but I ain't gonna do all that. We ain't gotta do all that. We ain't gotta do all that, you know. But yeah, we finna head over there to G5 though. But you know, man, I just know if I'm just, you know, saying what I'm saying, bro. If Alexander Usyk, you know, this fight with Wilder and Joshua still the biggest fight in boxing. 4 years ago, today, they still the two biggest heavyweights in boxing. This shit even bigger now than it was back then. I think it even mean a little more now than it mean back then. I think even more people will watch right now because there's so much mystery and oh shit, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Let's say Wilder get in there, he sparked Robert Helenius. That's a whole nother firestorm. Now you got Wilder Joshua, Fury, Usyk about to handle their business. What's left? What's next? What make the most sense? What make the most money? What the people still want to see? I'm talking about it fucking now. Me and my nigga Jess Duke talked about it on the phone yesterday. He did his live yesterday. I'm doing my fucking live now. I see people talking about that shit all over Twitter, all over the internet and shit like that. Nigga, as soon as this fight ended, we went right, okay, so Fury go fight Usyk. We was like, nigga, why didn't Josh? People started doing that shit as soon as. So this fight big is just as big now, if not bigger now, and it mean more now than it did 4 years ago. It still can happen. I'm ready to already go give him my motherfucking money. You know what I mean? And how in our back part of this, and I'm gonna do another Joshua piece later, and I'm gonna do an Usyk piece later, just them by themselves. You know what I mean? I don't know the time right now, but be on the lookout for it. Y'all gonna see. Y'all know how I be doing. I'm gonna set it up. But if Usyk is to go in here and he's to beat Fury, I most definitely think then we gotta put Usyk in the top 5 all time. Again, Usyk is a clean fighter. You know what I mean? He's a clean fighter. He in the clean fighter program, right? Just like most of my favorite fighters and shit, right? He in the clean fighter program, right? He'll be undisputed at cruiserweight, and if he beat Fury, he'll be undisputed at heavyweight. So I think automatically we got to slot him in the top 5. So that's a motherfucking. He said, "I doubt he." Fury. Tay, I want that nigga to go away. I want that nigga to go away, Tay. I want him to go. I wouldn't even be mad if he don't, bro. I want him to go away, but you know, I'm just speaking like, you know, if everything happened the way it's supposed to happen, right? I want that nigga to go away, Tay. I said that in the junk that I made about the date. Like, I hope this shit don't happen, but you know what I mean? I hope that nigga go away. You know what I mean? But Usyk said if he can't get the Fury fight, then he go retire. You know what I mean? We had a little conversation earlier. Was there the duck? I'm gonna talk about that a little later too. You know what I mean? Today heavyweight. I'm talking about the heavyweight division back. He said everybody know her and don't do right beans. I had spoke a little bit about that earlier about that Wilder situation. I spoke about that earlier a little bit, bumping on it, on how Eddie Hearn was the one that fucked up the second fight they had, the little 50 million little thing. But hell yeah. But yeah, let's say if he is to beat, let's say that the Fury fight happened. If he beat Fury and he go fight Wilder and beat Wilder, if he beat Fury, right, we got to put him in the top 5. And if that nigga fight Fury, he already said he ain't fighting Wilder. He said that. He already said it. But you know, but if he fight Fury and he beat Wilder too, that nigga might be number 1. You know what I mean? He might be number 1 if he beat, you know, Joshua Fury and Wilder and get double. You know what I mean? But you know, we gonna wait and see what happened with the whole Alexander Usyk situation. A lot of people, you know, shit don't feel like fight Alexander Usyk. I didn't feel like that originally, but you know me, I speak things, you know, as if they happen the right way. I told y'all, I don't think Fury gonna ever fight again. I hope he don't. I think that's why he feeling that retirement shit on and off like that. You know what I mean? But me just speaking like if things happen the way to happen, you know what I mean? He's a man, the whole play, Joshua to fight Zane. Man, hey, Joshua gonna fuck around and knock Zane ass out too. I mean, Zane gonna fuck around and knock Joshua ass out too, Pat. I can see that though. I can see that. I can see Joshua fighting Zane. Yeah, Joshua need to walk his ass on around that Deontay Wilder path though. I heard Eddie say he want to keep him active too. But hell yeah, I ain't gonna hold up y'all time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. He said these fucking niggas don't cover this in detail. Yeah. Yeah. I'm on definitely can see James sparking AJ at no cap. Yeah. Yeah. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long. Don't finna hit over the brother G5, man. Y'all hit over the G5 in the morning. I just want to come, spit my piece real quick on this good shit. But Anthony Joshua versus Wilder is still one of the biggest fights, man. In fucking boxing. I still think they're the two biggest, most popular heavyweights in the game. You know what I mean? Type deal. So there's still some shit that the fans want to see. You know what I mean? So hopefully we get that jump on down the line. Hopefully we get that jump on down the line. I don't think Joshua got nothing else to lose. You know what I mean? I don't think he got nothing else to lose. Type deal. You know what I mean? Wilder coming back. Y'all still the most popular heavyweights. Man, make this shit happen. But don't forget to fuck up out of Skin the Hardaway 17. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. This the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look.